Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
Do you like to serve your neighbor in unique ways? How has 2020 and 21 provided some challenges in figuring out how can I serve my neighbor? Well, we have some answers for you, especially if you are in the Missouri District of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. But even if you're not in the Missouri District, I bet they have some good ideas for you today of how you can serve your neighbor, especially during these unique times. Joining us today, Leah Sieveking, Assistant to the President for Mission Advancement for the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod Missouri District. Leah, welcome to the Coffee Hour.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And Casey Carlson, LCEF Lutheran Church Extension Fund District Vice President for Missouri. Casey, welcome to the Coffee Hour.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Well, we are excited to talk about an event that you are partnering together on, the Missouri District Shine Statewide Servant Events. So let's talk about the value of servant events and what are servant events. Leah, what are servant events and why are they valuable or helpful?
Well, we are commanded to love our neighbor. And so it's pretty simple, but it's not just God's command, but it's our joy too. And so what we're doing in Missouri is we are encouraging everyone to shine the light of Christ and serve others in big ways, small ways. We've all been given so many gifts and we're able to use those for others, and especially at a time like now.
Casey, how have you seen servant events be a valuable part of serving communities?
You know, I think a lot of times when we hear the word servant event, we tend to think a lot bigger, which is great and fantastic, but we need to remember that servant events doesn't mean that you're going overseas, that you're traveling somewhere outside of your own community. Servant events can happen right in the communities that surround you, that God has placed you in for a specific reason. So it's a great way for Christians to get out there and serve the communities. And I heard a great quote. I'm going to steal it from Pastor Jeremy Kloschmeyer out at St. John's Warrenton. Just read this yesterday, where he called us as Christians to not be consumers, but to be contributors. And I thought that was just awesome. And this servant event, Shine, speaks right to that heart.
Are there ones that you've participated in yourself that have encouraged you to keep serving your neighbor?
Oh, absolutely. I think back to many years ago, my wife Jody and I were fortunate enough through Concordia Kirkwood to take some youth groups on servant events. One down to Monroe, Louisiana, and one out to Buffalo, New York. And I think back to those times, and not only was it a great way to serve those communities and bring the love of Christ to those communities, but I think back to my own reflection on that and just how strong my faith was during those servant events, during them, but also just to build up as we planned for it, as we worked with the kids on those servant events, and then even afterwards. Just a great way to build your own faith as you go out there and serve others.
Leah, how about you? How have servant events been a part of your life?
One of the standout ones for me is heading down with a group from church to Biloxi, Mississippi, and it was 9 months after Hurricane Katrina hit. And to serve others and to see what it meant to them. The people we were serving were in tears at the end of the week. We were too. But it bonded the group for life. We all were out of our comfort zone, learning new skills, leaning on God, leaning on each other. And I have just such wonderful memories of serving others and making new friends along the way.
Absolutely. Building great relationships, learning new skills. Chainsaws are great things to know how to use. It could be a part of that new skill set. So tell us about the upcoming statewide servant event. What's happening in the statewide servant event, Leah?
Sure. We're making history in April. This is the first time we've ever done anything like this, and we're so excited. You've heard it. We're calling this Shine because it's based off of Matthew 5:16. And that is that Bible verse about letting your light shine before men, that they will see what you're up to and ultimately give glory to God. So the concept is pretty simple. It's a 10-day span, April 16th through the 25th. We're asking people to form a group, and a group can be anything. It could be your Sunday school class. It could be the 8th graders at a Lutheran school. It could be the elders. It could just be a group of friends or family that want to do something together. So form a group, and then each group gets to find their own project because they know their community best. And service can be anything. And what we're encouraging people to do during this time is the pandemic obviously is on everybody's mind right now. And so following best practices, some people might feel comfortable masking up and working side by side. And some people might prefer to do projects that limit their exposure. So a group can commit to picking up trash, but doing it separately, or writing letters to troops, but doing it from the comfort of their own home. So we're really asking people to get creative as they're identifying needs within their community. What's neat about this is we're having people register on the district website. And we're so blessed to be able to do this with such generous partners. So our lead sponsor is Lutheran Church Extension Fund. So thank you, Casey, so much for your support. But then we also have Concordia Plan Services and Emmanuel Lutheran in St. Charles. And because of their generosity, everybody gets a matching t-shirt. So we're going to be wearing these bright yellow shirts, literally shining. And because we want people to see what we're up to. We want them to ask questions because then we get to tell them about Jesus while we're serving them.
Mm-hmm. Casey, why is this an important thing for LCEF to partner with the Missouri District on?
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for the question there. We are super excited and honored to be a part of this. And I can tell you, from the right from the start, when Lee, President Hagan, brought this to the district exec staff on what this event might look like, I just knew LCF had to be involved in some way, because when you look at the heart and the mission of LCF, it's to equip and give resources in the ministries across the LCMS footprint to help them, in their work in expanding God's kingdom. A lot of times that happens, as part of just strengthening the saved that are already within their walls. But many times it goes hand in hand with what Shine is all about, and that's equipping and giving resources to congregations as they reach out to the communities and find new ways to serve. Whether it be, you can look in the backyard here in St. Louis. Recently, we've helped Zion, Maryland Heights, as they renovated their lower level to put in Higher Grounds, which is a community coffee shop. As they reach out to the community in that way. And not only is it a coffee shop, but they are not bashful in how they share the gospel as people come through their doors. Or as you look at the Kaleidoscope grant that LCF has been fortunate to provide to ministries. And I think one in particular is Christ the King in Memphis, Tennessee, that received a grant through that as they reached out to their homeless community. Again, touching them with the gospel, not only meeting a great need, but touching them with the gospel of Jesus Christ was just fantastic. So I knew right away, I was like, this just fits so in line with who we are as LCF. We need to be a part of it. So I was very happy and very excited when we decided to support it from a financial perspective. But I'll tell you what, I'm even more excited as we are also as an entity supporting this and taking part of it. So our national office here in St. Louis have 3 opportunities that we're providing our employees to take part in and getting out and serving. And kind of what Leah said earlier, we're providing 3 ways for our employees to take part in that. Again, given these times, we want to make sure people feel comfortable. So we have opportunities for people to give monetarily to a ministry, a military ministry supporting a military base. We also have the opportunity for people to put care packages together for college students. Again, they can do that in the comfort of their own home. And then we also do have the opportunity for people to gather and get together and go out and serve the community. And we've done that by partnering with Humanitary. So that's a way that LCF is getting behind this and helping support it as well, which I'm just super happy and proud to be a part.
Leah, have you heard from some who have already signed up or who are planning for their servant events for this week for participating in Shine? What are some of the ideas that you've heard rolling in about how they're going to serve in their communities?
These stories are so great, you guys. Mm-hmm. So as of right now, we're at 866 people that have signed up to serve their neighbor. And there is plenty of room for many, many more. And some of the first responders were our Lutheran schools, and they're doing such neat stuff. We have a church in Rolla that has adopted a senior living community in their area, and they're making care packages. We have Emmanuel St. Charles. They've got 4 different options for their members. Their 8th graders are doing something in the community. Their young adults are helping the homeless. They've actually partnered with the Parks and Rec department of St. Charles and are helping that way. We've got a scrap metal drive happening in St. Louis. And then over in the Kansas City area, we do have a church that's making a whole big deal out of this. They feel very strongly about folks that are going through cancer and their loved ones. And so there's a worship service and care packages and prayer requests and all kinds of things that are happening based around cancer. What I love is the way that groups are encouraging one another. So the sweetest story so far has been one of our smallest Lutheran schools jumped on board. They're going to be serving. And when I contacted them about their t-shirt order, they said, oh, well, we need to change it because our Ladies' Aid caught wind of what we're doing and they want to join us. And I loved hearing that we're going to be an encouragement to those around Missouri, but we're also encouraging one another. And that is great.
How have you seen this kind of catch on, especially during this pandemic? I mean, we've all been through a rough year, and being distanced and separated from each other and through a lot of hardships. How has this kind of caught on and really encouraged people in their faith and in supporting each other through this time?
Well, originally, we were going to be doing this in September of 2020. And so we had to do what a lot of organizations had to do and put our plans on hold. And then we had to have this debate of, should we move forward? Should we not? So we reached out to our sponsors. We reached out to district donors. We reached out to church workers, kind of gauging, is this appropriate? Is this too much? Because people are pretty beaten down these days. And is this just one more thing? And in the end, we came to the conclusion that people wanted to serve, that in this time that has been so difficult, that looking to others to help them was exactly what we all needed to be doing. And that has been fun to see because people have really responded, and we're just so excited about April.
Leah, can you give us the details again, what we need to know to sign up for the Shine statewide servant event for Missouri?
Sure. It is April 16th through the 25th. It's a 10-day span. You don't have to serve all day, every day. Pick an hour, pick 2 hours, full day, half day, whatever. Find your group, find a need, and then head to the district website. And that would be mo.lcms.org/shine. And there's a Google Doc there for you to fill out and get those t-shirts. Shine brightly.
Very good, very good. And we'll include that link in the program notes today as well. Leah Sieveking, Assistant to the President for Mission Advancement, LCMS Missouri District. Leah, thanks for being our guest on the Coffee Hour today.
Thanks so much.
Casey Carlson, Lutheran Church Extension Fund District Vice President for Missouri. Casey, thanks so much for joining us on the Coffee Hour.
You're welcome, and thanks for having me again.
I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@KFUO.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.